In 1988, the creative, creepy, and strange story of a deceased couple took the world by storm. From Tim Burton's mind, Beetlejuice became a fan favorite over 30 years later, and a new sequel is coming, simply titled Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. So we thought it'd be fitting to look back at the original movie that started it all and see how it holds up today. Let's take a look back at Beetlejuice.
Step right up, test your strength.
So like I said, it's been over 30 years, so if you haven't seen Beetlejuice by now, I'd watch that before coming to this video, since I'll be talking about spoilers, obviously. I'm pretty sure Adam and Barbara, as normal people who happen to be dead. They have given their precious time to decorate their house and make it their own, but unfortunately, a family's moving in and not quietly. Adam and Barbara try to scare them out, but end up becoming the main attraction to the money-making family. They call upon Beetlejuice to help, but Beetlejuice has more in mind than just helping. That's a quick synopsis of the movie. It's quite a simple plot, as strange as everything goes on. With given in the wrong hands, this could have been a really cheesy movie, but somehow it really works. The vibe of the movie is very strange and surreal, but humorous as well. They mix, obviously it's way more comedic than it is horror or creepy or strange, but it encapsulates both of them. It combines, and one of the ways that it does this is the characters. I think that the casting is excellent. They were able to embody each of the characters, and again, if they didn't cast this correctly, this would have been terrible. This would have been totally roasted, it wouldn't have worked, it would have been cheesy, but with the brilliant casting, it works very well. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis play the leads of the character. They play the couple that happen to be dead, and they have a very humane sort of, ironically, they have a very humane vibe to them. You know, they're your classic typical couple. They have good chemistry, and they don't have, I wouldn't say like they're the most exciting type. They're not a movie as well. And obviously with all recent events and everything that's happened with him and the tragic, death of supervisor or whoever it was that happened a couple months back. Obviously he's not in the new one, so that is kind of like a missing element. I don't know how they're gonna write him out of it, but I know Winona Ryder is in it, and obviously she's grown up and everything, but honestly, she's so good at effortlessly being this character, if you will. She's very over the top and quirky and very snarky as well. She's not supposed to be likable. No one really in this family is supposed to be likable. It's her, Jeffrey Jones, and Winona Ryder, along with Otho, their I guess their companion or the person that's gonna help them sell the house, I believe. So it's really the four of them, and they are just a total hoot, all of them. But it's really fun to see them play off each other. But again, I think Catherine Hahn is excellent at that. Jeffrey Jones also does a brilliant job as well, has great chemistry with her, and they're really not supposed to be likable, but like I'm saying, they're just very entertaining. And finally, Winona Ryder as well. She is definitely the more down-to-earth person. She's more goth, kind of an emo daughter, if you will, sort of rebellious in a way, but for good reason, because her parents are just supposed to be very obnoxious and pretentious. So she definitely is a change of pace from them, and she actually ends up helping the couple. Young adult. I'm not sure what age Winona Ryder was during this time, or was in the movie. She is supposed to be younger. She does look somewhere in her early 20s, so it is kind of weird, but again, it doesn't really matter. Honestly, she does look young enough to be their teenage daughter, if you will, or young adult at the very least. So again, I really like just a Joker type, but not so much in an evil way. He's just very chaotic, if you will. And the movie borders between him being a villain and him helping. It's somewhere in between, obviously, and you kind of like, I wouldn't say you're rooting for him at all. Obviously, he steals the show in some of the scenes, obviously, because of his character, but it's just somewhere in between, and I found that very interesting. So the set designs was something that I also really liked in the movie. They're iconic. They mix the strange and the surreal, how they ended up dying. So I found that to be really interesting. The movie did a great job at sort of having characters within the afterlife as well. They even have their own advisor in the afterlife, which I thought was pretty funny as well. So it's really good. In terms of some of the CGI, and I really like the intro as well. The introduction where they're panning through the entire city, almost like the miniature, and it's really cool how they do that. And I thought that mixed with the music, it was just a really nice introduction to the movie and everything. The movie's pretty short. I feel like it could have been a little longer. I would have liked to see a little more character development. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of characters, and I just would like that if they had maybe stretched it out for another 30 minutes. I feel like having just a little more character development. You know, you could argue that it's the perfect length. It's about an hour, a little over an hour and a half, which is pretty short for. I mean, that's pretty general for a lot of movies, but I'm used to movies being a little longer than that. But you know, it does very well with the screen time. It has a lot of efficiency with that, so you know, I'm not going to take off too many points for that. But I was just really surprised that they're making a new Beetlejuice, and for good reason. Sometimes you shouldn't touch these, but you know what, it's been 30 years and they're deciding to do a requel, which is a reboot and a sequel at the same time. So we'll see if they're able to sort of modernize this and take the same sort of character that the original had and bring it back into the modern day. So it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a tall order, but we do have Catherine O'Hara and Winona Ryder, and Jenna Ortega loves this movie, and everybody enjoys it a lot. So yeah. And one final point about the end of it. I think that the end could have been a little better. I felt like it felt a little rushed and everything. That's why maybe 15-20 minutes would have added a little more to it and had a little. You totally just saying, nope, not even gonna see anything, any reboot or anything like that, and that would be a valid response with all the new reboots. But anyways, if you like this video and want to see more, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Placid5 signing off.